Before I start writing my book, today is the first day after I walked away from the route. I'm sitting in my old work delivery truck, but now it's my truck. It's my means of transportation for now. And I'm sitting in front of a place called Lake Pleasant, and I'm looking at the sign that says Fishing and Boat Commission. And this guy pulls up next to me and he says, "Good morning." I say, "Good morning." And he goes by and he parks in front of the sign. And I was reading some of these signs, and I was thinking, I remember this one time that I was just sitting here, and a guy pulled up to me and was like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Just sitting here." And he's like, "Oh, this is for people going fishing." And I'm like, "Not exactly, but if I'm bothering you, I'll leave." He was like, "No, it's just, if you're not fishing, I don't see why you're here." And then he left, and I'm like, "Okay." And I thought to myself, if how much logic does this make sense? And you can use this for every scenario of nature. If someone was to say, "You're not allowed to be here unless you're fishing," I'm thinking like, oh, so if I'm out there contributing to killing the animals that are living in the water, I'm allowed to be here. But if I'm here enjoying the scenery of the lake and all the things that are in it, like, look at this. If I want to go swimming in the lake, I have just as much right as a fish has to be in the water, right? And some people would say that's their habitat. Don't bother them. But then I would say, outside in the land, in the world, on grass, in the woods, those animals are in their habitat. But why do you think that you have the right to go cut down woods, shoot the animals, grow them the way you want to, and kill them and eat them? Why do you think you have the right to do that? But I can't sit here on this grass looking at the beautiful water. Why can't I do that? Unless I'm taking place in killing the fish? No, you guys have been really messed up. And if you really want to know how to be part of nature, let me tell you, what you're doing is not being part of nature. If you're going out, cutting down trees and doing stuff with them that makes no sense just to make money for your personal greed, or you're going out and you're hunting or fishing to kill things and eat them when there's plenty of stuff for you to eat that you didn't have to kill something, you're contributing to sinning in that way, the main way, how you're lessening yourself on purpose. That's what sinning means. You're purposely becoming less than yourself. God, you, as a human being, are a sinner because you are God in human form. The reason it's called a sinner is because you are the great divine, but there's no way you can feel like the great divine in human form, because the great divine doesn't have limitations, and human form has limitations. So why you're a sinner is because you're choosing to be less than you could be in order to experience. That's exactly what it means. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry, but it's just that you're so confused you want to explain it to yourself some other way. Like someone who does something wrong. Everybody does things wrong. Everything you think you're doing right is something wrong. If you're eating meat, you're doing something wrong, because you're contributing to the death of something that was alive, that deserved to live just as much as you. If you're fishing, as silly as it may sound, it wasn't supposed to mean fish as in fish in the story, but it also does mean that they did do that in real life. They did eat fish. It doesn't mean that fish aren't alive and don't deserve to live. It just means that forward in source here, or source hologram, or source, the divine H is what's in between here and here, and the line between is you in the center of it. Or the line from the top going down, and the little n on the end of a lowercase h is like the word ant, a, all, and then plus with an n in between, which is a half a circle indicating the ground. The word, you'll see what I mean. But the point that I'm making is that everything alive, including ants, that's why that showed up. Ants deserve to live too. There's no reason to stomp on an ant just because you're like, I was walking here and I saw this ant and I don't like them. Think about how unconscious you are just to do that. And someone's like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. If something lands on you and it tries to bite you, try to shoo it off. If it doesn't keep shooing you off, it wants to die. Like, there are things that really happen like that. There is nature's law. Nature's law is give it 3 chances and don't be morbid about it. If you can avoid it and get away from it, then do it. If it keeps persisting to attack you, then use your common sense and do what you need to do. I mean, it's not like the worst thing in the world to swat a mosquito, but I love them too, and I won't kill them. So you can do what you want to do. As silly as all those things may sound to some people, life is life, and it's all worth being cherished. And when you've been there, when you created life, you don't take it. You help it. You guide it. You cherish it. You love it. You are it. Tag. Till next time. Peace.